Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. Today I have a cute, fun, little simple, easy peasy idea for you. I'm going to make a woven candy cane pattern Christmas tree. I actually tried this a couple of different ways and it didn't come out. So this was by far the cutest. And I did find out through trial and error that the only way to keep that white clay clean is to make sure you clean your station really well first and wear gloves. If you don't care about the little hairs and little fuzzies in there, you don't have to wear them. But I'm going to be wearing them for most of this video because it really made a difference. Using some white clay, just a nice good old chunk of it, rolling it into a ball, and then making it into the cutest little marshmallow shape ever. And then I'm going to roll out a little bit more white clay. I need this into a long snake shape. So just going to roll that out, get that aside. And I am going to make some candy canes out of the little marshmallow. I went to the store and I got some store brand. It was a Michael's store brand red clay because that's the only red that they had there at that store. I wasn't going to travel around. And it actually worked out pretty good. It looks kind of pink here in the photo or in the video, but it actually is more of a red color. And I think you'll see it a little bit better once the candy cane is rolled out. You'll need two different sized snakes of the pink clay, a thicker one and a thinner one. For the thicker one, you'll need two cutouts the same length as your little cute marshmallow. And then the thinner ones, you'll need a total of 6, the same size or length as your marshmallows. On the two thicker pieces, you'll put it on your marshmallow and you'll put them directly across from each other. And then just gently pat them into place to kind of like flatten them a little bit. And then with the 6 smaller ones, you're going to fill in the space between. So you'll put one directly in between the 2 larger strips, and then again gently pat it into place so that it stays in place. And then you'll put one in between the small one and the large one. Again, pat that into place. It's very important that they like stick pretty well and they're pretty straight, because once you roll it out, it is where it is. And then you'll put another thin strip between the small strip and the large strip. So you'll have a large strip, 3 small strips, a large strip, 3 small strips. And you'll repeat on the other side and then gently stretch it out. You don't need to do it too much, but just a little bit. Elongate it, pull it just a little bit. And this kind of helps pull all the clay out and makes it so that the red lines don't run together when you're rolling it out, or at least that's what I've found. And I'm just going to roll it out. I'm trying to use paper and all kinds of things and cleaning my station in between just to keep all the red to itself and the white clay to itself. That white clay you rolled out, you'll need to make sure they're roughly the same size as your candy cane. And then you'll just gently twist it. It won't be perfect, but once you cut these down into sizes that are smaller to work with or more manageable to work with, you can actually twist them a bit more and make them a little bit more perfect. And then you're going to have really wonky ends. Just cut down to where you'll start to get a really pretty candy cane twirly twirl. And you'll do that on both ends. Otherwise, you'll have a little, it won't look pretty. Make sure you cut those away. Okay, so we got our white clay rolled out into a snake, and then our candy cane rolled out into a snake and twisted up all pretty like. Makes me want some candy canes. I'm going to be using just a paper cutout. Whatever shape you're going to use, you're going to want to make sure that your strips of clay that you cut are at least the length of that, because that's how you're going to know how large to make your weave pattern. And you'll kind of see as I go. And I like to make mine slightly bigger all around. So I'm adding a little smudge there at the top and a little at the bottom so that I make sure I have plenty of room and plenty of space to cut out my shape. And you'll just cut out all of your pieces based on that length, both the white and the candy cane. Then this is where I'm showing you that you can kind of roll it out and make it a little bit more, like tweak it to make it look more spiraled, like a candy cane. And it doesn't matter which side you kind of start with, if you want white going down or if you want the candy canes going down, it's going to be the same in the end. I'm just starting with the candy cane there across and then the white down. And it was so much easier once I took the gloves off because it was never going to work. So my hands are pretty clean at this point and everything's done. So hopefully no little pieces get on there. And then you'll just layer it back and forth. If it was over on the previous one, it'll be under on the next one, kind of like a little weave pattern. This took me probably about 10 minutes to get it weaved together. You might be less time if you're a little bit faster, but I wasn't really like rushing it. And it kind of looks like one of those little pot holders. When I was made in the 80s, we had these little pot holder maker things. It was like this yellow tic-tac-toe looking thing, and like you put these little stretchy bands on it, and we made pot holders that were just ugly and terrible. But that's what this kind of looks like. It was kind of holy and patchy. You can make your weave closer together by putting your little strips of clay closer together. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. And then I'm lucky that I made this as large as I did because I forgot I was making earrings and not a pendant. So I had to very carefully make sure I had enough for 2 Christmas trees. I'm just bending up the bottoms so that it's kind of rounded. I just like the way that looks. And sorry guys, I did not get a final shot of this after I put resin on it, but somebody wanted these, so I gave them to them, and I wasn't going to be like, hey, can I have them back so I can finish filming my video? You'll see the end product, but you won't see it after it's baked, but baked with resin on it, but it's basically the same thing. I think we can use our imagination, especially if you've been playing with clay a while. And I needed a backing on this because I thought it was going to be thick enough, but they were not thick enough. It was too fragile. It was just too fragile. So I had to use some bacon bond and put it on some white clay. I suppose you could use a green clay in the background. That might be kind of pretty. Didn't think about that while I was doing it, but I am now. I'm going to put that on the clay and gently pat it into place, cut out the shape. And it would be fun to like put a little green thing at the bottom, maybe for like the bottom of the tree. And that's the backing. I put the eye hooks in the top. I baked this, I resined, and yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.